That's reasonable.
So given that I've already done my best to track it, I could just go ahead and start leading people out when people are ready, including Sir Harmon.
Night is falling.
We could wait until morning.
Connor picks himself back up.
You do have individuals who have no problem in the dark, though. It's up to you how you want to do it.
Well, we would be leaving the caravan behind, I guess, with my irregulars to guard it. So there goes that. So
before we do this too, Connor, can you give me a roll for your irregulars to see how many of them stick around after their fight with the Three Corners Fort?
Okay.
You got a random encounter generator too? What the heck? Why are you holding out on me, man?
Sometimes I would often, when I'm running this game, to be a random encounter where you run into a bunch of guys in leather armor, half of them all blood soaked. They say, "Hey, would you like to buy some swords?" And
I like that.
And goods only lightly used. It's like, where'd you guys get this? It's like it fell off a wagon.
Yeah, this is gonna be a problem. Your ally's name, because I don't know how to pronounce that correctly, and Theta is not talking, so it's gonna be maybe I need to be sent a pronunciation guide for.
Okay, so those are long terms. So that's Hua Jiao. Wow, Hua Jiao. Where'd you get a name like Hua Jiao? Where'd you get a name like that?
Hua, it's tones, right? So the long is not a long A, it's a high A. So it's
it's a long it's not accented, is it? Or am I reading this wrong?
Well, with Chinese they use the accent marks to denote tones.
Yeah, Hua Jiao.
Well, yeah, but this is long level, so it's long tone. So it's Hua Jiao.
I hate to argue with you, but I've actually been trying to study Chinese recently.
Yeah, mine's terrible. Because there's basically 4 tones: rising tone, rising tone, falling tone, long tone, and then high-low tone, which is the curve. This is Hua. So we could just call her Hua and just leave it there.
Okay. Well, that's probably for the best.
That's why when we made Book of Jade, we made sure we mixed in things like Pay the Learned and Bitter Storm and names that weren't all like this.
Exactly. It's very helpful.
I'm still keeping some people because Connor is rolling low on the successes.
Well, I was wondering if etiquette would count because it would be.
Etiquette only counts if we're luring in nobles, and I don't think we're in noble territory.
Well, I kind of want to hear what your justification for etiquette is, though. Oh, you're talking about your.
Well, I'm a knight. I lead a military unit, or I would be leading a military unit in home. So my knowledge of military protocol might help, but if not, then so be it.
I think not. I was confused because I lost track, and for a second I thought you were rolling to track the bandits, and I was like, etiquette for tracking? But no, in this case. So it looks like you've got 2 successes?
Yeah, so that means 3 irregulars. We're keeping Gerald and Lewis and Raphael. I will take the others and let them go back home for now.
Okay. All right. They said that they're not interested in being hunted down by the Triskellion, by the Rinaldi for right now, so they're bailing. For now. We'll see. I'm sure they'll be back later. Okay. So you guys have decided that you're going to do this. The Thespians are going to hang out at the camp unless you specifically request them to come with you. They are not fighters. They're very clear in that. So your party here is going to be Hua, Harmon, it looks like, I assume, Connor, basically everybody, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I want to give. Normally, I let you guys choose who's gonna be doing the searching and the tracking, but I think given that this is happening at night, it probably makes sense that someone who is nocturnal do it. But you do have
I'm nocturnal, and I've done the tracking.
Oh, never mind then. Everybody but Harmon, basically, and Hua are nocturnal here.
This is the night crew that we're up all day makes us incredibly grouchy, which is probably why we kill so many people.
There you go.
I'm never grouchy.
So you're grouchy on the inside, where it counts.
No, I'm actually pretty bouncy all the time. My character's disgusting.
Perfectly amiable. Harmon is like a constant in the universe. But okay, so yeah, so let's track this thing here.
And I do
I'm
have a
looking
lantern
for...
with oil, so.
Oh, okay. It's up to you if you want to use it. I guess you'd probably want to use it for those that don't have night vision. Do armadillos have night vision?
Nope.
Okay, so you definitely want to use that. Okay.
Nocturnal, but no night vision, no observation, but I do have searching.
Yeah, it is going to be mind and search. If anyone has tracking, I mean, I guess if you have tracking, you could use that as well. It's going to be it's going to be challenging. I only want one success.
I can assist. I also nocturnal.
Assisting would be good.
Sorry, I'm crepuscular.
What is I'm sorry.
That's Twilight. That
gotcha.
Dawn and Dusk.
Okay,
like
that was a new one.
Like rabbits and microbats are out during the dawn and dusk.
So wait, are we saying an extra species tied to nocturnal right now, or was that just implying I should be making the roll?
I want someone who is nocturnal making the roll.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and make the roll.
Give species to anyone who has night vision. Can take their species die.
Doesn't matter.
All right. So no assist from Anushka. This is just 3d6 then.
Okay, and you want to beat a 5.
And you got an assist from Lewis.
Okay.
Nice.
That is 3 successes to actually follow it in the dead of night with a lantern.
Well, you want to beat a 5, so that's 1, but that's still something. Last time I figured music could help if Anushka was making a roll. Oh, I mean, I guess I could see that. It's not the stealthiest way to track something, but do you want to sound waves Anushka being a bat?
I failed the roll, so who cares?
Yeah, we're gonna move on from that. But it's interesting. I can tell that we're going to try to apply this bardic music thing in a lot of different situations. So I'm going to be discriminatory. If I don't think music will help, I will say it's not going to help. But I'm going to keep an open mind as well. Definitely helps during battle, because the only thing that makes battle cooler than it already is soundtrack. Okay. All right. So, it takes you guys a few hours. It's in the thick of the night now, but the doctor seems to be hot on the trail. You find at several points these trails look like they are set up to lead to in opposite directions, but you choose one that you think is probably closer to the nearest town. Actually, I guess you wouldn't have that information. Anyway, you follow the trails, and you come across what looks to be a cave entrance, and you can see, those of you that can see in the dark can see that somewhere beyond this cave entrance, there looks to be a small a plume of smoke that is rising up from a hidden chimney somewhere. You're fairly certain that you have found the entrance to the bandit lair.
Suppose this is it. Should we say hello and see if they're willing to simply surrender the goods?
Well, so we're here for the goods and not the bandits themselves, right?
Well, we definitely won't be able to turn in the bounty over at Three Corners.
We could just tell them we're here for the property. If they turn that over, we'll spare their lives. They probably haven't discovered their dead friend yet.
Very true, very true.
Well, the one friend did run away after seeing us kick some ass, so they might be
seeing a
Two
head
of them, even.
explode, and they might be willing to just turn over the goods if that's all we're asking for. After they said, we showed up in force. There's like a dozen of us.
Well, I suppose we should go ahead and say hello then.
Point of order, there's not a dozen of you, because Connor said he left his dudes. Actually, did you leave your dudes back at the cart? You had one of them help assist in the tracking.
Lewis specifically
Lewis
is
is tracking, but the rest are at the cart.
Okay, so you've got...
So there's half
So in terms of party, yeah, there's 2 characters for Arc. There's 3 characters for Arc. There's 2 for Theta, and then there's the 2 of you.
Okay,
Yeah, so
well, so Doctor, do you actually have negotiation?
I do.
You could go, if you're feeling brave, you could go forward and tell them we're just here for the possessions.
I'm feeling brave and perhaps a little bit night jury. I'm ready to make a terrible decision.
Well, do you want them to come with you, or
So is this a cave or a house, or what are we looking at for this entrance?
It is a cave. If you didn't know what you were looking for, you probably wouldn't think anything of it. But the trail leads here.
Okay. So I will go ahead and start stepping inside with my lantern and my rod, and start calling out, "Hello, colorful bandits!"
Oh,
Hello?
those colorful bandits.
Do you want an armed escort?
I'm here to speak.
Do you want an armed escort?
Sure.
All right, Connor will come up with the doctor.
Okay. As
Yeah,
you
looks like I only
guys...
left one guy with the cart.
You left who?
I was just answering Harmon out loud.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right. Okay, so, as you guys are entering the cave, Doctor, you're calling out, "Hello, anyone here?" You're getting no response. And at that point, you're in the mouth of the cave now. You can see that the cave takes a bend, so you can't see into the back of it. But as you step in, suddenly you feel a horrifying lurch in your stomach as the ground beneath you gives way. I would like each of you to roll me speed and observation and digging. And if you have danger sense, you can roll that too. You'll want 2 successes, and it's versus 3. And also, if you are sure-footed, you are immune, but I don't think either of you guys are.
Nope. I do have an extra digging die, so let's see how it goes.
That was speed, observation, and what else?
2 successes.
Danger sense?
Yep, danger sense.
Yep.
This is a trap.
And digging if you've got digging. This is our trap, right? Haven't messed with a lot of traps in this game, but...
I'm just collecting my roll
so
here.
good.
Let's see what Potter has observation. I don't see it.
Is Potter there with you too? Because if he is, he's also got a roll to fall into the trap, or to not fall into the trap.
I'm about to roll for him.
Cool, okay. Poor Potter. Hardly knew ye. Should probably toss something up here.
Yep.
Okay, and
more 6s. 6s all around everybody, except for Connor.
Heck yeah. Okay, let's see what we have. We've got Connor got a 2 and no observation. Potter got a 6. And Louis got... So 1 success from those 2. No successes for Connor. And 2 successes for the doctor. Okay. So, unfortunate. So the doctor, as this ground beneath you gives way, you instinctively throw yourself to the edge. You basically clamber onto the edge of this pit that has opened up beneath you. You can hear your companions behind you land with heavy thuds at the bottom of this pit trap. You're scrambling to get a purchase on the side of this pit, basically, but you haven't fallen or hit the ground. The rest of you guys have, however, you land at the bottom of this pit that has been lined with basically punji sticks, sharpened bits of wood. So for Connor, Potter, and Louis, every one of you guys are knocked down, and you take an injury. And at this point, now you do hear your hosts approaching. Connor, Doctor, several of these dolls emerge from around the corner in the darkness. Each of them have this signature bandana wrapped around their faces. What I have here is the oval represents this pit, so that's where Connor and the boys are. I'll pull out some tokens for the boys. Or really just the boy, right, Louis? Your helmet. Okay, boom. And Doctor, I'm going to put you up here. The red marks on the edges are the cave entrance itself, right? So you're here, currently knocked down. And Potter and Connor will go in the pit. And everybody else, Anushka and Harmon, you guys can be back here somewhere. Wherever you were waiting while these guys were walking in.
I'm going to go back and reset my injury quota.
Yep. Yes. If you already had an injury, that's going to be reset. We're going to pull out.
I thought we fixed that.
Right.
Yeah, like before we even got to.
Oh, we did fix it, so I'm just re-injured again. Okay.
Always something, Connor, isn't it?
Okay. So these guys approach. Doctor, this one is approaching you with his short sword drawn. Pretty sure it's a short sword. It's a short sword. And these two have bows out. They are short bows, and they are not notched, and they are aiming at down into the pit. And behind them, a tall and lanky doll who is wearing a face mask that looks to be, I don't know if tie-dye was a technology they would have had access to, but I got to imagine it's something somebody would have figured out.
It's not that difficult to do so.
Right, so what distinguishes him is that instead of a solid color bandana, he's wearing a tie-dye bandana basically around his face, and he says, "Well now, you have done well to track us this far, but unfortunately I will have to relieve you and your friends of your possessions, and leave you to fend for yourselves out in the wilderness. I suppose I can let you live if you turn over your possessions quietly and don't put up too much of a fight."
Well, I'm afraid the circumstances are quite different than you think. You see, we are here actually to recover possessions and leave with them as well. And I was hoping perhaps as long as we were here, maybe we could speak of that. I know perhaps my friends are inconvenienced, but that's no inconvenience to me.
Aha! Negotiation. A father who is also a businessman. I like that. However, I think that we're holding all of the leverage. I see. It would appear that your friends are currently Well, stuck in a deep hole. How unfortunate. So, you can give us your possessions, or I suppose we can take them from your lifeless bodies. It is your call. At this point, you hear a strange sound echoing from deeper in the chamber. It's kind of like you might describe it as like a yip.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
Yeah, like
something in there. Do they seem to like react to that, or
is there any chance that what do we know back here of what just happened?
You guys know that these guys, you probably saw them fall into the pit, and you see these.
Well, if they fell into the pit, I would want to go
out.
help them.
Okay. I'm gonna say that at this point they don't realize that you're there, but you could go over. There's two men with bows drawn and ready to fire, so you probably will get fired at if you reveal yourself.
Well, I could.
Fools.
I mean,
yes.
Yeah, we probably would get fired at. Well, Harmon, you're indestructible. Why don't you distract them?
Right. But I'm still up here just distracting them a little bit, I suppose.
Yeah, but you're a pacifist.
I know.
I'm not worried about you.
So at least at the front, I'm going to go ahead and say, I believe perhaps you've misjudged the situation. These aren't nearly all of my friends, and if you were to perhaps dare to injure me, I believe one of them would be very, very cross. And when he is very cross, there is not a single man who could ever defeat him. Perhaps coming to arms isn't actually the best choice for either of us here. Neither injury nor death is suitable for people like us. Don't you agree?
I would like a negotiation on that one.
Okay. So, I got my D8 and I got a D10 if we go for will.
Roll them. Verse 3, I want 2 successes for this to work.
I have knack.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and choose to reroll both those dice and get double 8s.
Oh.
Yeah, here we go.
Well done. Okay. There you go. So, he says, all right, I see. You have more men. I have more men as well. But I see your point. There's no reason why we need to shed blood over this matter. So what is it exactly that you want? Perhaps we can negotiate a trade.
Well, I believe just a few days ago, or perhaps a week at this point, there was a young lady who you had robbed. A foreign one. A sheep. Perhaps you remember them. There is a number of possessions that she once held, and I believe perhaps you still have them, unless you've sold them off already.
He's going to scratch his chin and he's going to say, "Oh, the foreign one. Yes, I do remember her. Oh, well, you might be in luck. We haven't had call to sell any of the things that she was carrying. They wouldn't have fetched us much on the market. It was more just I suppose when you're a highwayman, it's just what you do, right? You steal what people have. I'm actually quite surprised that she survived. I wouldn't have pegged it. Anyway, so these items, as I said, they're worthless to us, but it sounds like they're worth something to you. What would you be willing to pay for them?"
Indeed.
I was pretty sure. Well, if I may interject here, I could say, pulling my, wings aside to show off my brace of pistols. I dare say the pistols are probably worth more than your lives, but I'm willing to let them go for just that. A bargain.
Are you offering to trade those very fine weapons you have?
No, I think you misunderstood.
You're threatening.
You've got straight threatening. We lost ground.
Yeah. You can just give them over to us and we can just let you go. Because if I can only barely restrain these men here who, as you can see, are skilled combatants and thief takers, and are more than happy to claim both the items and your heads. We're willing to negotiate down to just the stuff that you stole.
He says, "Now, I thought we were negotiating, but you have come to my personal home, and you have threatened my life and the lives of my men. How could I claim to have any sort of honor if I allowed this transgression to go unchallenged? And once again, as I said, you do not have the superiority of numbers here. And at this point, you realize that perched above this cave entrance, there's 2 more men, raccoons in the trees that have these bandanas that are drawn on you. And once again, you hear yips and barks coming from deeper within the cavern. And he says, I suppose I will offer you the same that you have offered us. Your lives or your possessions, which will it be?
Well, as you can hear from my friend, Harmon here, who, I think is just not going to accept any of that because he's been disrespected. I hope your underlings are well aware that you were willing to throw their lives away. I guess it's time to sit back and watch Harmon do what he does.
I guess it's initiative time, isn't it?
And Harmon has said that the foreigner was a friend and you've disrespected her, and I'm assuming he's drawing because he rolled initiative. Pulls sword and shield, epic music begins to play.
Oh, the doctor has focus. That's very nice for him.
All right, you guys can all roll. These dudes are already drawn. I'm giving them...
Yeah, they could just have weapons and not roll if you want.
And I think it sounds like you guys are making the first move, so I'll give you the first turn, but I'm also going to say that from behind you, as this happens, the leader is going to snap his fingers. Snap!
Right, see, this is why you roll initiative for the bad guys. If they get focused, they can interrupt us.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay.
I think it botched terribly.
And if the typicals, their initiative is 2d6. If they're elites, they roll 2d8.
Yeah, all right. So we're going to roll 2d8 for the leader here to start with. How'd he do?
Well, he's surprised.
Not well. Okay.
So he's got nothing ready. And then you could just roll 2d6 for everybody else.
See, but the thing is, it changes, right? If I roll 2d6 for the group and they roll as badly as I just did, then basically...
This isn't a good game for group initiative.
How many bad guys are there?
I'll roll it multiple times. We've got 5.
Yeah, go ahead and roll 2d6 5 times.
Okay.
I've seen GMs try to do group initiative in this game like you can with D&D. And that winds up with strange things like everybody being focused or everybody being reeling.
Well, that's why I'm not a fan of group initiative, because that happens in D&D, where it's like, and then the kobold's got 2 rounds on you before you guys get to do anything. Okay, and then I suggest going left to right. So this guy has focus.
This guy has focus.
Oh, this guy has focus. Yeah, this is going to go ugly. This guy's got focus. This guy's clueless. Yep. And this guy botched, so he falls down the woods or something.
Basically, reeling, right?
Gosh, falls out of the tree. Was not ready.
All right. So
I wasn't ready.
So Harmon gets to go first. Once Harmon starts doing something, you can interrupt it.
Okay. 2 focus, 1 prepared, 2 not. Yeah. Okay. Any chance you can take care of the tree guys, Anushka?
I can screw this up for you, sure. Which ones are the tree guys?
The guys behind you here.
Yeah.
The 2. Him and him.
You're worried about the range guys?
Yeah.
All right. Harmon asked, so I will do. Okay. That's good. First, I'm going to guard.
Okay.
There you go. Now they got some trees.
Thank you. Perfect.
Then I am going to move towards this one. Actually, wait. I know no fear and serve with. I will guard. Never mind. I know no fear, but I'm also not stupid. Okay, I'm going to move towards you. Feel free to interrupt me anytime, buddy.
All right. He is going to interrupt to take a shot at you.
Okay. He's going to wait until I get as close as possible so he doesn't have a range penalty,
Indeed.
which would be here, which... I'm still at short range. Go ahead and take your shot.
Okay. It's going to be 2d6. And actually, these guys are sharpshooters.
Yeah, you're sharpshooters. You don't have a range penalty. I'm not
Yeah.
a sharpshooter. So go ahead and take your shot.
I did 5 high.
I dodge.
Dodge.
Okay.
Arrow flies into the night.
Then I'm going to go ahead and shoot you. My gun sparks. You may roll a bonus D8 to your dodge dice.
Okay, and I will. His dodge is a d6, which is good. Because I need it. Oh, but it's not enough.
No, that is still a palpable hit. That is a 6-point hit, but it's weak. You may soak it twice as I shoot you with buckshot.
I was wondering what that was. Damn. Okay. And these guys
no,
are
I don't have a. I do have a faith use. It's not with this gun. It's a problem when you have multiple guns.
Okay, that's
Okay, so out
3
of 6.
points.
Yep, 1, 2, 3. So 3-point hit. So reeling, hurt, afraid, and injured. That is the end of my turn.
Blam. Shot rips through the night. Harmon is guarding and dashing. Anushka is drifting. Sprinting. Is that? Okay. And remember, this is a pit. If you guys want to cross this, it would be a jump. But you're going to do that. Sounds good. All right. This dude will try to interrupt your attack by shooting you with an arrow. Let's remove that. Before you get within range to counter it. Right, okay. And because these guys haven't had a chance to aim yet, it's just 2d6. And yeah, it deflects harmlessly off of your... Actually, you just duck under it, right? Your speed was high. So, yep, you duck under the arrow. Please continue. Yikes. He doesn't have a weapon to parry with, so he's just going to dodge, and it's not going to go well for him. Yeah. Oh, that might be the most damage we've seen yet. Yeah. It doesn't matter. I'm going to roll for posterity. Okay. Yeah, you basically can cut him in half. That's this dude here. Comes frightened from the overkill. This dude is dead. I don't know if someone wants to draw deadlines. I got it, actually. Bleh. And Harmon is done. The man with the short sword to you, Doctor,
Hello.
flinches as a wave of gore hits his face.
Well, don't have to worry about you so much then. Since I guess I'm the next one up here, I will go ahead and choose to ready a spell, guard, and then go reeling to attempt a negotiation stunt. So I've been trying to figure out where it is and what the role is again for the stunt. Does anyone remember?
It's in combat, it's under stun. I don't have my book, though.
Yeah, I keep losing track here.
I would
Combat rules, fresh, actions, 116. My eyes must just be glazing over it here.
No, that's okay. Reason.
Here, reason, that's what it was.
Yeah.
My mind
will.
negotiation
Mind
versus
and
their
negotiation.
mind will inquiry.
Will inquiry.
So
Help
I will
us
go
choose
ahead and
inquiry.
give it a shot because I would like him, the leader, to take a focus turn.
Okay. He's resisting with 2d8.
All right. And that is not a success, and I have no knack. So I will go ahead and begin speaking to him and go, it's like, no, you seriously, you really don't have to do this. You see just what happens. It'll happen to you too. And I go reeling.
It'll happen to you. Okay. Yeah, and seems just angered by the fact that his men just got shot and cut down, and he's not ready to give up just yet. He is deaf to your pleas for peace, Doctor. Okay, who wants to go next? We've got our dudes in the pit.
Yeah,
All right.
pit dudes.
Connor's going to try to climb out. I'm going to assume that these sticks make it uneven terrain, or whatever they call that in the system, which would cause me to have to. Well, it would make movement cost double.
Yes.
So,
you're a fast climber, though, right? So you can
Yeah.
do this, and it's not a stunt for you. But I still would like you to roll your body and climbing dice to get out of this pit.
well, let's see if I can even make it up to the side first. I'm going to roll dash and sprint.
Okay.
Okay, so that's 1 meter, and then, well, actually, that's half a meter, and then yeah, it's 2 to the edge, and then you want a climbing roll.
Yes.
Okay, body's
It's versus 3. You just want 1. You just need 1 success, though. All right.
So he's at the top and up against this guy, and then he'll just, as a free action, help Potter and Lewis to get to the edge and take cover. So they'll do short little movements. Actually, they'll be going this way because the guys with ranged weapons are there. So we're trying to put the corner of the precipice between us and them. Lewis is a non-combatant, and Potter just has a shield. So
Yeah.
in leather armor, but arrows go right through that.
I think the problem is that, right? Oh, I see. You're trying to like defend against this guy, maybe, because you guys are in a pit. You're basically sitting. These guys are basically sitting ducks for anyone who wants to attack them. I'll tell you right now, these guys have more pressing matters to attend to, so that's not going to be a big deal. But yeah, this guy, the guys that are out here wouldn't be able to shoot at them based on the depth of this pit.
All right.
So that is fine. Okay, and that seems like it's your turn, right?
That's my turn done.
Okay. All right.
It's everybody.
That's everybody. So now, what am I going to do? Well, this dude is going to recover from reeling. He's hurt and afraid, and he's going to drop out of the tree. I'm just going to say he's going to...
Yeah, he's injured too. He's probably going to peace out.
Yeah, he's basically just going to make a run for it. We'll just say he uses his run stunt to exit the battle.
That's what you usually do. You recover from reeling and peace out.
Yeah,
this guy
guy's
back
recover
here
from reeling.
Would also recover from reeling. Is he going to take a crappy shot, or is he going to guard? You have a crappy shot at Connor.
I mean, I have a crappy shot at Hua. I could also take a crappy shot at you.
I'm not reeling.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, you have a crappy shot at the two of us, but this guy's closer in reeling. But he's
Harbin makes a good point. He did botch. He has to draw ready his weapon.
Oh, he also botched, so he doesn't. So he's just gonna get his bow out. We're done.
Oh, okay. All right then.
Okay,
there you go.
So, who is this?
This guy has a short sword.
Okay.
And he didn't use his focus, but he's afraid because of the overkill.
Oh, okay. Well, remove your focus because fear removes focus.
Gotcha.
So
okay.
And you got your boss there, so your boss could rally you first.
He's gonna rally.
Yeah,
he's gonna step back and
rallying.
Rally. Okay. Yeah. These guys are pretty typical, so his speed is not amazing, but he's going to take a dash back. I guess he'll rally first, so he doesn't have to worry about range penalties. Let's see what his rally looks like.
For boss, it's either 2d8 or 3d8.
Yeah, I'm looking. He's got militia leader, which means he includes his local knowledge, which is nice. And he's got
D12. Go for it.
true leader. Yep. So it's going to be 2d8 and a d12. Bomb. Yeah, that's more than enough to remove
the fear, add focus.
and
What's
add
your second
focus.
action?
He's going to dash 5 this way. So he's just moving back deeper into the cavern. This dude,
you coward.
this dude realizes that he wants to take the pressure off of his friend with the bow. So he's going to move up to his dash to flank Connor over here with his first action. With his second action, he's going to aim. And with his third action, he's going to attack with his short sword. He's a veteran, so it's going to be 2d6 and a d12 versus
it's going to be 3d6 and a d12. You're a dole. You have tactics.
Oh, that's right. I have tactics. And actually, they've got lots of tactics dice, so never mind. They've got plus 2d8 for... that's the wrong one. Plus 2d6 for tactics. So it would be 4d6 and a d12.
d12, and is Connor's hurt or injured? Sorry.
He's injured, so it'll do extra damage if it goes through.
Okay, if he's... Connor, how do you defend yourself?
Ugh. He's
Looking
got
good on
counter.
their side. That was a tie.
And I break ties on parries.
And you break ties with
break
your...
ties on parries. So you're not hit.
Okay, not hit. Well done.
Barely.
Yep, this swing comes in like it's going to run right through your head, but you
But I
knock it away at
imagine
the last second.
this guy's also going to aim and attack. It's going to be the same die roll.
That's true. I realized we had this conversation and I forget, but he's got his longbow out. Can he attack at point blank range with that?
Yes, Connor can counterattack if he wants to.
Okay, well then let's do it. Why not? That's exciting.
So he's going to try and shoot you with a longbow. Connor, you can counter or dodge. You can't actually parry a longbow.
All right, I'm going to counter this then.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
the big deal. Not welcome to D&D again. So aim and shoot the longbow.
Got that 11.
Uh-oh. You might have got Legolas.
Right. Stab him with the arrow. That ought to work.
Well, he was busy getting mauled by your friend.
It's true.
Nope, that's good news. He didn't crit, because longbows do a lot more on crit. I believe a longbow is +1 critical, or is it +2 critical?
+2 critical.
So that's a 3 point plus you're injured. That's a 4-point hit on Connor.
Point hit on Connor.
Yikes. So one of it.
Wow, so you're reeling, hurt, afraid, and injured.
Connor is in a spot. Okay.
Well, I think when the good guy's turn comes up, Harmon is going to... Harmon, you should probably go after the boss. We've got... Oh, no, wait. Harmon is a sweep weapon. Who am I talking to?
Okay. And lastly, from in the darkness of the cave, a pack of yipping, snapping Bethrak, which are sort of the smaller pack dinosaurs that we mistook for earlier in the when you guys were fighting them. A pack of 3 of these that seem to have been trained, colorful bandanas around their neck, and they are now charging you.
We're in the headquarters. That's why he's not afraid, because these guys pack. Yeah, I've been, starving him, poking him with sticks, singing off key.
Yeah, and these guys have a dash of 10, which is pretty cool. So that means that guy can get there, which means, and this guy can gang up on.
Face.
Can you get? Yeah, you can get to Connor.
Doctor, my one regret is I don't know what to put on your tombstone.
Yeah, just leave it blank.
Unknown man died of beating paste.
This space for rent.
Okay, Doctor. We're going to start with you, because Connor's going to get bit, but we're going to start with the Doctor. And just to be clear, these guys also, I think, have tactics, pack tactics. Bonus D8 for each threatening ally. They're not guarding, so we're just going to attack with both of them.
Right, they just moved up. So I'm going to go ahead and parry them with my weapon.
Yep.
Okay, we'll make the first attack with claws, 2d12, and actually we'll do teeth because I could grapple you that way. 2d12,
Yep.
2d8, and an extra d8 for his
Oh,
buddy.
I thought they weren't guarding.
They're not. Well, they get a d8. If they were guarding, it would be a d12.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I just
2d12
heard a lot of
and 3d8.
D12s.
I
Makes
know,
me
it's a
sad.
lot. It's a lot. I'm sorry. Here we go. Okay. That's 3d8 and 2d12 for the first bite.
Right? 10. I win.
Nice.
Walking with the stick.
Okay.
Oh, I'm also
day.
guarding. I should remember to roll the extra D8 here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good day to be a
I'll do that for
pacifist.
the next one.
Good to be a pacifist. You're just like
Pacifist with a stick.
pacifist with a stick. Okay.
Speaks
One more
confidence.
time. 3d8, 2d12. Hive 9.
11.
Can't
Yeah.
touch this. All right.
I got a stake. Stay away.
All right. And the last one is going to take a bite on Connor. He's going to get a bonus d8 from reeling, so it ends up being the same roll.
All
I'm
right.
only
let's
rolling
carry this.
1d12? What am I doing? Sorry, did I do that wrong? I did that wrong. I am so sorry.
Oh no. Well,
Doctor,
they do have
I'm
a
going
chance
to roll.
to beat a 10 and an 11.
I know, so I'll just roll one for the first attack, one for the second. This is for the first attack. 5,
Nope.
nope, second. Is it 12?
Oh gosh, no. Why?
So that is okay, so that is 2 damage.
All right. So I
For
have
the
to
second
actually soak
attack.
that. And hey, good thing I wear plenty of bulky, heavy armor. And am an armadillo. So let's see how that goes. Wow,
Ooh.
I didn't think it would be possible.
Ooh,
Almost botch wearing plate armor.
ooh.
So that was how many point hit?
A 2-point hit.
All right. So what does that put me at?
Hurt, you're already reeling, but you're afraid. Or do you have this, what's this flesh ward? Oh, that's your,
That's
not
me
that
having a
good.
spell ready.
right, okay, cool. Okay,
And
so,
I am grabbed.
so this thing, yeah, you're grabbed. This thing sinks its teeth into you, and you actually feel it, even through your thick hide. And it hurts. Yeah, you know. You're not too big of a man to admit that getting bit by a raptor hurts. I think that's it for my turn, though. I think you guys are up.
Well,
Oh,
you
did I
did
roll against
ask Connor,
Connor?
didn't you? We haven't played that out yet, so I'm going to
That's
parry that.
true. Okay, go for it. And that's 3d8 and 2d12. It's a hive 8. Hive 10, parried. Ching! Goes in for the bite, but you knock the blow away with your saber. And now, it's back to y'all.
Hey, we got a lot of stuff to do. I am afraid, unfortunately. So even if I were to recover, I could not rally Sir Connor over there.
Well, I could try to have Potter rally you.
That is a good point. If Potter can succeed the rally, then I can rally Connor.
This can also rally. Anyone can rally. It just will die.
Anyone can rally. Few people can succeed.
Mm.
So
You can do it,
Lewis
Connor.
could technically also succeed and roll a d6.
Come on, Lewis. Show us how it's
Yeah,
done.
let's try Lewis.
What's going on up there? You guys can't die. You're our only hope.
Mm.
Lewis sucks too.
Oh, we're going to die.
All right, hold on. I'm coming.
At least I'm a coward now and I have an extra d12.
All right. 6.
That's true.
and
All right. Yeah, so you move
4.
over.
Yeah, and I'm gonna rally the doctor.
All right. And then the doctor will rally Connor.
Well, hold on. I gotta roll first.
Oh, yeah, you got to roll. Oh, I thought that was your roll, actually.
No, that was my roll to get over here.
There you go.
Once I actually get here, I'll shout it out. You're both what? Really unafraid?
Yes.
Okay,
So I
I'm
just
gonna
need you to
remove.
get rid of afraid.
I'm gonna remove the afraid.
So then I will
Because-
recover from
I'm
reeling
just
and
checking here. That's all I have for leadership because I have leadership because I'm a character that Rafferty built. All of the NPCs that Rafferty built have leadership.
having anyone
Nice.
who can rally in the party is good. And Sir Connor, you will have 2 successes. So you will
Yeah,
no
look
longer
out.
be afraid and you will no longer be Hurt or of hurt
Reeling.
or reeling. I guess you want to get rid of reeling. That's fine.
Okay, hold on.
I will
Why is it
also
doing
go
that?
ahead and activate Flesh Ward now.
Okay, hold on. I'm getting some weirdness here.
Hmm.
Let me go to Flesh Ward.
Okay,
Flesh
hold on. I
Ward.
gotta reload the map.
Target needs to roll will. And just to clarify, this is also... Yep, just that. So target's will, my academics. So you have 3 points of Flesh Ward now.
Nice.
I'm gonna guess Harmon with his battle air is gonna come in here and kill all of these things.
They're all grouped up, so
Yeah, so Harmon, you should take this crowd out.
Yep. I assume I can rally be even while I'm grabbed, but well,
You can rally while grabbed. Usually you're reeling or afraid while grabbed, and you're neither. You're welcome.
Yup. All right. Well, I've gone ahead and screamed for help, and now we'll see if it arrives. So, yeah, Harmon's dashing in.
okay. Pull up my beastie stats. Attack. We'll start with this guy who can't counter because he's out of your reach zone. Oh, range or not? Yeah, you're within range. 2 meters. Yeah. So this thing's just going to try to parry you. Blocks melee. Why would it say that in the stat block? That's a weird thing to say. Parry blocks melee. Oh. Okay.
I guess just
Alright.
maybe as a reminder. Who knows?
I guess so, yeah. 2d12 and a d8 to parry. d8, 2d12. Oh yeah, play
Oh my
that.
God.
I can roll him. Can I roll him? Jesus. Making you do hard math. Yeah, I believe it.
Your highest is a 2, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is a 7-point hit. No, 8-point hit apparently.
Yelp. These guys soak with the d8, so there's nothing they can do to prevent a messy overkill.
All right, so it's overkill. That means that the and then he's gonna sweep,
Yeah.
which means he's gonna attack this guy. Which one was grappling?
This one was grappling, the second one.
All right, sweep and hit.
Okay. Yeesh. So, question.
Yep.
Can I parry this attack if my teeth are sunk into the doctor?
No, you can't parry. You'd have to parry with your claws.
Okay, but I could
Could
still
let
do that,
go.
right?
You
Or I
could
could let
in
go.
theory kick the person who was attacking you from behind, because this
Hmm.
is kind of abstract. Like I want you to imagine the creature's grappled him, but it's like twisting and turning and flailing.
Yeah.
But you might as well roll because you're not going to beat an 11.
I mean, I might as well. Yeah, exactly. In either case, it should be a counter. I can still attack with his claws, so we're going to do that.
You could kick at him with your claws,
Yeah.
which is what you would do, and it's going to horribly fail.
It is, I think. He rolled an 11, so 2d8, 2d12. Yeah, close, but no CGAD.
What's the 2d12 for?
That's his claw attack. He's got 2d8 and 2d12 as his for his claws.
Well, remember that strength doesn't count for
Yeah, he should have a separate counter block. Are you?
Oh no,
the
you're right. You're right. There was an
Yeah.
extra d8 in there.
Yeah.
Sorry. We can drop the high d8. I don't think it mattered though. That was the 3.
Okay, so I think he just got overkilled too.
Yeah. I mean, one went through. He had a 10. So one mark from the
Okay.
Yeah, his 11 went through, so that's 1 damage plus 2 damage for 3 total. Yeah, so 3 damage. The 10 was from the d12. He still got to roll his 2d12. It was 1d8, not 2d8.
Okay.
So, he's soaking a d8. And he soaked it. Hurt. reeling, afraid. And you're gonna sweep to this dude. He's probably in range. And he's gonna I mean, he really doesn't have a prayer of a chance. I guess we'll have him counter. He got to 12, so it doesn't actually matter. Let's see how he
could
does.
Reduce it a bit.
Yeah.
Screen out the ones.
Yep, this is 2d6.
Yeah,
got the high 6.
The stat block says the counter, listed as 2d12 and d8. There we go. All right.
Okay, 7 damage. They're rolling 3d6 soak. Soaks one of it, so he also is overkilled. Blam. Get my pen out.
And then the last doggo.
Okay. Delete. Last doggo is also going to try to counter 1d8, 2d12. Oh, it's outside of range, is it? It's...
Yeah, if you measure center to center, it depends on how much leeway you go for.
You basically killed 3 people that turn. I think he's out of your range. I think you did well. This guy was overkilled, right? So this guy also has to he's afraid anyway.
Yeah. I don't think these guys are unshakable.
Let me
that
just
guy on
double
the other
check,
side
but
also
probably
afraid?
not.
It's like 2 meters.
Yeah. Yikes. Okay.
Well, I guess it's my turn for Connor, so let's aim and give that guy some problems.
Okay, Connor. Sorry, who are you attacking?
Number 3.
Number 3, gotcha. All right.
And that's my favorite to use. Not this has a
bow out, which sucks. So he's just going to dodge. So I think you're going to have a good shot at this. He's dodging with a d6. And he's going to botch.
Yeesh.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Damage times 2 makes that 9. The critical makes that 9. Then the damage for the weapon makes that 11.
Yeah, he's split from crown to crotch. Wait, what weapon did you kill with again, Connor?
Weapon, saber.
Yeah, okay? That's a serious dragon edging.
Eesh. Okay.
Wow. I think that's all of us.
Whew. All right then. Well, this guy didn't get to do anything this whole game. But you know what? They're not totally dumb, and he's also not technically afraid. So what he's gonna do is,
you have a believable escape route. You could get the hell out of here, and no one would stop you.
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
I could just see you up there with your bow, and it's kind of like, and then goosh, goosh, blurch, goosh, goosh.
I'll say
south.
There's one thing that changes the circumstance for this guy, and that is that there is a woman who is reeling, and she's basically playing a flute and completely. I mean, she's guarding, but none of you guys are in a position to threaten him right now.
I was just like, when I thought you guys couldn't get any lower. All right, so instead of escape route, you're going to go ahead and shoot someone who you already stole all their stuff.
Well, I'm trying to consider if he wants to shoot her or kind of try to take her hostage. It's a situation where she could bolt and he would be pointless, like he wouldn't be able to pursue.
Your friend already ran.
So I think I am just going to take the shot. And then this guy up here is going to surrender because his dinos, these guys are going to run. Okay, but we're going to start with this. We're going to take the shot. We're going to aim and shoot. I'm going to try to kill Hua. I know. Okay. So Hua, I'm rolling You're within range. It is going to be 2d6, a d8 for reeling, and a d12.
Anything for
Tapping
range?
coward. Okay.
Yeah, which gives her a bonus d12 to defend, but makes her immediately afraid.
Gotcha. That's cool. I didn't know you could do that. Nice.
There's a D8 a range penalty as well.
These guys are sharpshooters.
Sharpshooters,
Okay.
they're professional archers.
Yeah. Okay. So here it comes. 2d6, 1d8, 1d12. Man, just can't roll high today. All right. So yes, she dodges with her speed. Well done. The arrow thuds into the wall behind her.
They said they were honorable. Who knew thieves couldn't be trusted?
You get what you pay for, I guess. Meanwhile, the remaining raptors are just going to book it full speed. Actually, they're not even going to go back into the cavern. They're going to run past you guys and just get the hell out of here. So they're running this way and this way. Boop-a-doop-a-doo. I mean, their run is ridiculous. Run of 42. So I'm just going to say that they disappear.
Oh, yeah, they would gone. Like, they would go and just keep running. They might come back later.
Okay. Our leader is alone for now, and he's going to throw his hands up and say, like, okay, you've made your point. In this case, if you guys want to keep attacking, he's going to try the negotiate stunt or the reason stunt with you. But if you're comfortable with ending the combat here, you can. He has thrown his sword down and put his hands up.
I don't think Harmon's going to accept that.
I don't know. Harmon doesn't like to attack unarmed men.
It. All right.
Yeah.
Well, then I'll go outside here and threaten this guy at gunpoint.
All right. He was in the process of reloading his bow or reaching back to reload, but he sees what went down, and when you approach him, he's just going to toss his bow out of the tree, put his hands up.
I'm disgusted that within Anushka there's the rage that I would want to shoot you, but I can't bring myself to do it. And this is a conflict that will haunt me. But covered in too much blood because there's so much blood.
There's so much blood. Oh my god.
So much blood.
Okay. Let's see here. Why not stab him instead? All right. So the leader of the Chroma bandits will say, obviously you have gained the upper hand in this negotiation. So what I can offer you, the items that you came here for, if you spare me and the rest of my men, I will also sweeten the deal. I could spare 50 denarii.
What? You're coming in chains. You have nothing left. If all your men have deserted you, your beasts are dead. There's nothing but you and this other person. We outnumber you. And as you can see, we can barely keep these two from cleaving you in twain. You had your chance.
He says, please. The Chroma bandits, there's more of us out there, but this is not the end for us. You can arrest me, but someone will take my place. I guarantee it. However, if you leave in peace, sort of, if you take what I offer now and go, then I can promise you safe passage through the rest of our territory. And 60 denarii.
I'm angry with rage, but I would have to defer to Connor.
I do love the extra 10 denarii there. Oh, and I guess also maybe not having to worry about bandit strikes in the middle of the night. That would be nice too.
That would be nice. Plus, there is the fact that they are on the land of my vassal, of the lords I am vassal to, and their enemies. So we might as well allow them to harass said enemies, as long as they know not to mess with us.
Okay. He will go, the doctor will escort this guy back into the loot room. Once you're back there, you can see that they actually have probably a lot more money's worth back here, but it's not in coins, it's in like robbed goods. So chests, clothing, food, that kind of thing. He does offer you the 60 denarii in coins and he hands over a pack that definitely looks like it belongs to Hua. Let's see. While you're running your mouth, go get your things. Yeah, exactly. So yes, he returns with all of this stuff, and he also gives you a bandana that has this sort of like tie-dye coloration to it, and he says, if one of your drivers wears that, you won't be bothered by any of my men, so long as you pass through our territory. I will also spread the word that individuals matching your description are not to be interfered with, right? Now, if you don't mind, looks like I have some graves to dig. It's going to be a long night.
Well, I could say a few words for them as well while we're at it.
Yes, enjoy the price of your folly.
Cold.
It just so
Yes,
happens
cold time.
I am a priest. Which is
Okay.
the chat book.
All right. I assume that you guys, probably Harmon is going to return the bag to Hua. In her bag, there are several items. There were some rations. They've been taken. There are two things that point out that it of note. One is a beautifully carved bone flute that looks to be very old. That seems to be what she's most interested in when she takes it back. She's grateful for it, and she will put it in the bag, her new bag, next to the decent flute that you bought her at the Three Corners Fort. The other thing of note in this bag is a small book that looks to contain. It's kind of like a phrase book. It contains Zhongguo writing and also and definitions and also Calabrese writing. So this is essentially what she was using to study how to speak Calabrese. Above the table, this is because I don't want to pantomime with this character forever, so we'll talk about it when we talk about goals and gifts later. But basically, this is something that she's been using to learn to speak Calabrese. Other than that, you guys can help the Dole bandit leader bury his dead. But otherwise, there's really not much else to do here, unless you want to take the rest of the goods. But that means probably making several trips.
He's given us the far easier to pawn off money, so he can keep the goods.
Yeah.
But the doctor's probably the primary one actually helping him bury and say a few words.
Well, if the doctor's burying the dead, I'm also burying the dead.
You know, it gets all the easier once you realize you can just kind of pour what's left of them in.
Yeah. That's
Also, I'm the only one
bodies,
here
not
with
holes.
digging.
There you go. All right. Well, yeah. So I mean, he puts the work in alongside you guys. He doesn't seem. I mean, maybe a little bit of remorse. Probably not what you would expect from someone if they lost like friends or family. But who knows? Maybe this guy's a bit of a sociopath. He says they were good men, and I appreciate. If they met your end, that at least they would have a man of the cloth here to say words over them. Greatly appreciated, Father. What exactly should I call you all when telling tales of your brutality?
Do we actually
It's
have
like
a full
Connor's
name?
flag, so we're Connor's people.
All right.
And what was
Is
your family's name
anybody
again, Connor?
flying these colors, sir? They are with me for the most part, so yes. Men of Connor the Verde Equities are not to be molested while in these lands.
It says, I will remember that name. Well, if you don't mind, I have some Bethraks to track down. They can cover a lot of ground, so I will take my leave.
Very well. All men fall on dark paths, but perhaps you'll find the light. Here, take this chapbook.
The parting shot.
I am, in fact, keeping track of these chapbooks. I'm going to buy more. I'm going to get a stack of them.
How many do you, since you're keeping track, how many do you have on you now?
I started at 6. I'm at 3 now.
Okay, all right. When you when you return to camp, Tall Otis is sleeping off the day's journey. The Ox who are with him are chatting with the Thespians. And when you guys come back out of the woods, I'm gonna say probably at least a little bit covered in blood.
Little bit.
A little bit. Some of you, right?
We don't
Some of
have
your
any
blood.
way of cleaning this up. Harmon's got to be. I'm not the only person here who's played Dragon Age, am I?
I played it. Just start a
I
cutscene
always love
smothered
that
in
when you
blood.
go, like the first demo adventure where the guy says, "Okay, don't tell anyone I have rats in my basement. Can you do that, okay?" And meanwhile, we're covered head to toe in blood. Like, we won't tell anybody. Sure, we won't tell anyone there's monsters in your basement. We'll just walk right past everybody. If anyone asks, I tripped.
There you go.
I fell on the stairs.
We are at least close to a river and can get some water, so that's not a problem.
Oh, but it's river
And the
water.
carts themselves probably actually carry like barrels specifically for water for when we're not directly adjacent to a river anyway.
I mean, this is not clean water. Clean water is hard to find. It's the Middle Ages.
Well, you're not drinking it, you're washing off your sword with
That's
it.
true. It's probably cleaner
I mean,
than
clean enough
the
that
blood.
you can. Well, I mean, yes, removing all of the blood, but you can never get all of the blood out. You can never get out damn spot.
Now we're getting theatrical.
Gonna need laundry services later, that's for sure.
Yeah, you know those modern detergents that use protein to get out protein? They don't exist.
Uses a cheesecloth or the like anyway, yeah.
You just need a Bethrack. It's got that rough reptile tongue.
Yeah. No, I mean, we're gonna. Also, this is a furry game. You're going to smell like dried blood. It is the nature of what we do.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I was outside the blood splatters.
If you want to do this cleanly, sneak attack doesn't overkill.
Are you? Doctor, if we look at the directions of these blood splatters.
Yeah, they went this way and this way and this way, and I was right here. They completely avoided me somehow.
You just kept your arms close to your sides. You're like, I've seen how this goes, and managed to avoid.
Say a prayer to Louise again.
You can use elemental magic to clean things.
If you argue that way,
That's a fair point. There you go. Okay, fair enough. We'll just use prestidigitation. No one is ever dirty ever. Then
oh gosh,
taken care of.
All right, time for me to like do my thing. Go cross-class elementalist again. Get some water going.
All right. So as you guys emerge from the darkness, Tess the Ineffable will jump to her feet and go like, "Oh dear, are you all right? Did you hurt yourselves?" You're starting to get the sense that she is, much like Anushka, has an inexhaustible reserve of pep. Move the blood while it's still wet. Exactly.
Well, I'm sure they have nothing that a good bit of rest in the cart and a good meal won't cure.
All right. She's like, wow. Looking at the blood, she's like, are there any bandits left alive? Quite impressive.
Surprisingly, a surprisingly large number of them are still alive.
Oh, well,
I'm gonna have to sit there, hold my mug, and think. You'd be surprised how much blood the body can hold.
Right. It's but a singular hideout. They don't all seem to be here.
Anushka's
fortunate for
rocking
them.
back and forth.
Yeah. 1,000 yards stare.
Here, have a chapbook.
She says, well, perhaps this would be a good time to ask if perhaps you wouldn't mind letting us join you on your journey. your drivers here were saying that you were headed towards Harrowgate, which is a coincidence because so were we. I've already mentioned to your, I guess, your driver, the small goat, that we don't actually have much in the way of money to pay with, but if you would be interested, we could teach you some lessons. I am a master juggler. My friend over here knows all kinds of dance, so it's something that we gladly be able to give you lessons on the road, free of charge. What do you say?
Oh, well, that sounds fantastic. I'd love to learn a new skill.
Anushka would have to say yes. She would be extremely excited about this.
Splendid. See, and she gestures at the moose, who kind of like rolls his eyes. And you get the sense that she made this offer to Otis and he shot them down. But yeah. Persistence is the key.
I suppose, well, we're going to go ahead and take some rest. Hey, Connor, why don't you go ahead and roll me your will?
All right, sir.
All right, we're 2 successes in already, so that's already good. All right, and this is versus 2d8 as well. All attempts will fail. Congratulations, you just fall asleep.
No.
Somebody needs more faith. Have you considered buying piety?
Yeah, have you considered following Orcomancy? You get to drink it more than the other fates.
Have a chapbook.
Have a chapbook.
Yes, perfect.
In which case, I will probably go and deliver ordinary medicine to everyone. So I'll go ahead and just do some rolls for that real quick for people.
Yeah, get yourself.
Do you want me to roll
healed
for
up.
each individually, or just take this as?
You could just take it.
All
Do
right.
it one for everyone.
All right. So Connor, your party will get 3 successes towards and 1 success for sleeping, and of course, don't forget food and the like, if you have it.
So I'm going to try to figure out how much the quota that is.
Yep. So you're getting 3 from me.
All right.
Sleeping in a good bed.
1 from food and 1 from rest. So that's 5 total each.
Yeah, Thadal raises a good point. I don't know if this is like.
Right, I meant
conditions.
resting. You get to roll your body because that's what you get regardless.
Oh yes, rolling the body.
Not that you're sleeping in a good bed, so that we're clear.
Okay. While we're doing this, we've got about an hour left in the session. I would like to call for a quick break when we get back on the road.
Okay.
To Harrowgate. Sounds good?
Short break. Got
I'll
it.
see what this cat wants. What do you want?
All right. And Connor, you can go ahead and roll an extra d6 for each of them. I will give you travel grub. I assume each of them is herbivorous, correct?
Either herbivore or omnivore.